Hello, welcome to NOLA Stamping. I'm Barb Baldwin, and today we're going to be making a bright and cheerful citrus card using the fruit salad paper. The fruit salad paper is free with certain qualifying purchases through the celebrations. So that's a fun one to use. And I really love how bright and cheerful the paper is. It is 6x6 size, but it is a fun one to work with. So I thought that we'd make a fun fold card with it. So I just got some of the Daffodil two-tone paper. It is 12 by 12 inches, and it's slightly lighter weight than the other cardstock that Stampin' Up has, but it's more in line with like the close to my heart paper. So, and it does have the two-sided tones on the paper, which is really nice for cards. So we're going to take that piece, and for the card base, we're going to cut a piece that's 5.5 by 7 inches, and then keeping the 5.5 inches up and down, we're going to score along the 7-inch at 1.25 and 5.5 inches. And then we're going to cut a piece of yellow that's 2 3/4 by 2 3/4, and then a piece of the granny apple green that is once again 5.5 inches tall by 2 3/4 of an inch wide. And then for white, we're going to cut one piece of 2.5 inch by 2.5 inch for that square, and then a piece that's 4 inches by 5.25 inches, which is kind of optional. Like, I wanted to give the card a little more heft on the inside, so like that's why I did that. But it's pretty optional because the daffodil is light enough to stamp on, so like, and see like if you have an interior sentiment. Okay, so for that fruit salad paper, we're just going to use that orange and lemon paper. So I trimmed the page at 5.5 inches, and then I'm just going to cut 2 1-inch strips and then 1 1.25 of an inch strip. And I'm just going to use the top part of my trimmer for that, just to make it easy. So I have 2 diamonds instead of just one because I tweaked at the end the technique, and I think it works fine stamping the one color in daffodil and then having the white on the yellow diamond. But you could also, like, if you wanted to add a little bit more pops of color, you can also add that on, but I would stamp in black instead of daffodil. And then for the card interior, I'm just taking the sentiment that goes along with the Citrus Blooms stamp set that came out in the annual catalog this year. And I think it just says, "You're the best kind of person." So just for a little bit of technique fun, sort of for me, I went around and I colored in the outside of the stamped daffodil orange, and I thought that it would set it off kind of nice to like color in the negative space. So I think it's kind of a fun way to set off some stamping, and you could always stamp in black also, and then color around in the negative space in a color too. It is a fun technique to try if you haven't tried it before. Okay, so let's go ahead and assemble the card. So on that card interior, I'm just going to put that piece that I stripped off of the 6x6. So, when we first cut it at 5.5 inches, so that's the 1/2 inch little thing, and I'm just using it to pull in some of that same color to the card interior. Okay, so then we're going to grab the 5.5 by 7 and go ahead and burnish those score folds so that everything will just sort of fit in there. And go ahead and put the card interior on the inside of the card. So that just gives it a little bit of heft. So I used the tear and tape on that first flap on the left-hand side, not on the right-hand side. And I'm being daring and peeling off the, the backing strips. And then I'm just going to go ahead and slot in that Granny Apple Green cardstock. And it goes all the way to the fold, and then you just fold down that first flap, and that'll attach it so that it makes like a gatefold card. So next we're just going to attach the DSP and sort of decorate up the card. So the two 1-inch pieces, we're going to attach those so that it's got the oranges and the lemons, so it's got the matching pattern. And we're going to put those on the outside strips so that they're on the yellow. And then we're going to flip over that DSP, and that pattern has like leaves and stuff like that in it. So that'll go on that Granny Apple Green piece, and sort of pull those colors in. And then we're going to go ahead and attach our colored diamond in the diamond orientation onto the two-tone daffodil. You want to make sure that the light color is facing up, just so then it makes that dark marker sort of pop out a little bit more. So then we're going to grab a pencil and just make a mark so that we know where to put the tape for that diamond. And I recommend using like a liquid adhesive or that tearing tape, just so that it's a little bit more sticky of an adhesive. And then we're going to close the front of the card and put that diamond in the exact center of the card. And so then we've got a beautiful little gatefold with the diamond on the front. So you could totally stop here. I think that that's a nice card, and I think it looks good. But I thought that it was a little monochromatic, and I just wanted to add a little bit more color into it, especially since we have that Granny Apple Green pop on it. So what I did was I stamped in Memento Black and colored in the orange and two of the leaves using the Stampin' Up markers. And I just tried to match the colors, so that's Granny Apple Green and one of the, I think it's the orange marker, yeah, Pumpkin Pie. So, and then I'm just going to fussy cut out the around anything that wasn't colored. So I'm just gonna go and do the two leaves and the orange part. Because I want to have the rest of it in that same daffodil yellow. So it'll just be like a little bit of extra to it. And then I'm just going to go ahead, and I forgot to color in the stem, and so I colored in the stem of the orange. And I'm going to go around the edges, since it's going to pop up and around. I want to make sure that the edges are all colored. So you can take the brush side of your marker, of the Stampin' Up marker, and just go all the way around, and then the edges will just be the color that you've markered them. It's probably a little persnickety, but it's a fun little added touch, especially since I use that thick white paper to do the orange. So I thought that came out pretty nice. I was going to add, you could use the Daffodil Delight ribbon, or I still am loving the iridescent ribbon that was in the annual catalog. I think it makes it just seems to pull in the colors of whatever it's like on. So I'm just going to go ahead and grab a glue dot and pop that on the top of the orange, and that'll cover up like any part of like any awkwardness with the leaves too, so that's kind of cool. And I'm using the Sunny Day gems on this card, and I played around with them a little bit, and I think I like just putting them on that diamond, like in a little, 3 formation. I tried putting them on the DSP, and it could work. It's a personal preference sort of thing, but I decided to just leave them on the diamond for the final edge of the card. And that is it. Well, thanks for making this card with me. I hope you made it or made it your own. And don't forget to stay crafty.